Marvel Rivals is the newest entry into the hero shooter universe, but of course you will want the best possible settings to start winning games and stomp all over your opponents. Multiplayer games are about the best possible performance, and Marvel Rivals is no exception. This 6v6 hero shooter made by NetEase Games already offers quality frames per second, but you might want to optimise your settings for some performance upgrades to get the edge in game. As standard, there are a ton of settings in game that are turned on by default, but you should probably never use them. Some of these settings will make you even worse at the game, so if you are assembling your Avengers, here are the 8 settings in Marvel Rivals that you need to turn off. Marvel Rivals is a beautiful game. Of course, you can turn that beauty down a notch if you want better performance, so why not take a look at both? We've got the best graphic settings for Marvel Rivals no matter how you want to play. A lot of these are based on console settings, but there are some sprinkled in tuning options for PC players too, looking especially at certain display, audio, controller, quality of life and accessibility options. Starting off in terms of display settings, there are a ton of options across all platforms, looking to boost either the quality of the graphics or frames per second. A higher FPS is desirable for most players in online multiplayer games, and Marvel Rivals is no different. Looking at a base level for PC users, there are a good variety of settings you can dial up or down depending on the power of your rig. However, regardless of the power of your PC, take a look at these settings below to get the maximum performance boost. In terms of graphic quality, you're going to want to set this to a custom setting and basically turn everything to low apart from model detail, which you can leave at high, and the reflection quality as screen space reflections. You can crank up the texture and effect details if you have a better system, however as a long-time multiplayer player I suggest keeping it at low for the best performance. If you are just exploring the game, as a casual player or a Marvel fan, you can take the settings up a notch to improve the visual fidelity as required. However, make sure the global illumination and reflection quality settings are low. Although they can make your game look like a AAA title, they eat up your device's resources and leave no room for performance. If you still want to flaunt your cosmetic skins with the Marvel Rivals codes, you can keep some settings at medium or high. Shadows in particular can cause massive input and targeting issues in online shooters, and Marvel Rivals is exactly the same. Get these out of there by turning them off. VSync can also be a major issue in game. VSync helps with screen tearing, and it only really does that by limiting the FPS when necessary. If your monitor can't keep up with the FPS of a particular game, then VSync can make a big difference. However, it won't improve resolution, colours or brightness levels like HDR, and is more of a preventative technology. Even if it is useful at what it does, it can make an effect to your gaming experience, especially in competitive gaming, so turn VSync off. The optimise settings option is available in the display settings under the graphics tab. Your visual settings will be adjusted and you will receive a balanced preset. In short, the optimise option allows you to adjust the display settings according to your device configuration. Although these settings are designed to give you the best graphics without compromising performance, it can sometimes falter. That is why it is recommended to manually adjust your graphics and resolution settings to avoid a sudden frame drop. Marvel Rivals offers you aim assist settings on your controller. You can access the aim assist sub-tab from the controller tab in the settings option. Once there, follow these settings to capitalise your aim assist. Crank up the aim assist strength to 100 and turn the aim assist easing off, as well as turning the dead zone off too. These settings are going to increase the effectiveness of your attacks, making them less likely to whiff unless you are trying really hard to literally aim off target. On top of this, I absolutely believe that you should also turn vibration off on controller. Controversial I know, immersion breaking yes, but unless you are here for the 4K Avengers Endgame cinematic experience, then you need to turn it off. If you care for hitting your targets or placing your abilities where you want them, then vibration is a no-go. Plus it will extend the lifespan of your controller, and it's also going to make your hands less tired after longer play sessions, not leaving you with the jitters. It also drains your battery quicker when it is turned on, and you definitely won't miss it if you get used to using other on-screen visual and audio cues for finding your opponents. Cursor sensitivity is also a big one for me. Navigating the multiple colourful menus can be infuriating with the default cursor speed regardless of platform. I'd suggest that you turn this up a notch to make the scrolling more manageable between games. 140 is my personal sweet spot, but by all means crank it up to your heart's content. Easy Swing is one of the newer options. Whilst playing as heroes like Venom or Spider-Man who come with swing abilities, you must turn Easy Swing off for better aim precision. The Easy Swing lets you latch on to the nearest target point, which can cause you trouble in fights or crossing close rooms. Luckily, you can disable this option for your keyboard or controller settings. Go to the combat sub-tab and select the swing heroes, and then find the Easy Swing option and toggle it off. In terms of audio settings, the master volume should be perfect for your requirements in any video game. However, as the game offers some 3D enhancements or mix presets, you can still hear the right sounds clearly without blasting off your ears. Make sure your 3D enhancement settings are turned on for the best audio performance in Marvel Rivals. Subtitles can sometimes clutter your gameplay experience with your character dialogues appearing on top of your health bar with every voice line. This can also affect your performance in low-end devices and cut down on some FPS. Fortunately, you can disable this option very easily. Likewise, voice chat might literally do your head in, so chuck that one off as well, especially as there is a fairly advanced in-game ping system to allow you to dictate your request to your teammates to attack or defend. Button customization is straightforward in Marvel Rivals for both keyboard and controller users. Go to the keyboard tab for button mapping options for mouse and keyboard, and go to the controller tab for button mapping options for controllers. These settings allow you to customize all ability, communications and movement buttons. Whilst in the keyboard or controller tab, you can also change the UI and spectator setting buttons and allow you to use the crab, upside down or whatever funky shenanigans you have when holding your controller of choice. Reticle and crosshair settings can be the difference between winning or losing in any competitive game. To locate your reticle settings, navigate to the settings menu and select the keyboard or controller tab from there, depending on your preferred input method. Within these tabs, look for the combat sub-tab, and under the reticle heading you'll find various options to adjust your reticle's appearance. The reticle customization settings allow you to fine-tune the look and feel of your aiming reticle. You can choose from various reticle types including default, circle, crosshairs, dot and circle and crosshairs. Although there is no import or export option for crosshairs, these settings will help you find your fit for the epic battles in Marvel Rivals. By experimenting with these settings, you can create a reticle that suits your preference and enhances your gameplay experience. Plus you can also save these settings to chop and change as you please. The main one that I would definitely turn off though is reticle animation, as it does stop that funky pulsing effect that the reticle can have. Otherwise, everything here is up to your personal preference, including the colour choices. If you do prefer talking less but still want to communicate in the game, there are also ping communication options available in Marvel Rivals. You can find these settings in the communication sub-tab for both keyboard and controller options. Once there you can configure quick messages in your ping wheel. Here are all the full options that you can get in the ping communications tab. From the advanced options you can adjust the settings for the ping wheel, double click and scale the sensitivity. These include ally signal sensitivity, enemy signal sensitivity, objective signal sensitivity, signal response sensitivity, double click speed and ping wheel delay. There are also a ton of accessibility options in game as well. A fairly detailed yet standard in most games these days, colour blind mode, which gives you a ton of various options depending on your preferred style, as well as the ability to change the custom colour for your ally, enemy, HP bar, shield and warning colours. Marvel Rivals is set to take the online gaming community by storm. These 8 settings and everything in between are going to set you up for victory 60% of the time, every time, help you level up your season pass and unlock your proficiency levels for your favourite heroes.